Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from our studios here at Kokomlemle in Accra on digital address GA0993341 on Joy 99.7 FM. It's also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliates across the country on ABN Radio in London and around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by Telesol 4G, proudly Ghanaian. Telesol, just a touch. Mark Autoparts Ghana, distributors of Isuzu and Chevy cars. Mark Autoparts Ghana with you for the long run. UMB Bank, UMB Digibank, let's go. Coming up in this edition, initial diagnosis by doctors reveals Joy News reporter Parker Wilson has an infected eye following hefty slap handed him by a member of former President Mahama's security detail.
The doctor said I have an infection with the eye, so I should return on Wednesday for a critical examination of the eye, but he gave me some drugs so that it could relieve the pain.
We have details as the Media Foundation for West Africa calls on Mr. Mahama to publicly condemn the incident as the Ghana Journalists Association asks police to investigate the matter. Journalists protesting delays in passage of the RTI bill at Parliament House prevented from entering the House. We'll be live with our reporter in Parliament as the House convenes today. Anxious parents urge authorities at KNUST to swiftly resolve impasse after government tasked Otumfuo Osei to the second to reconstitute governing council.
I began to panic because Katanga is the center of the whole issue. But he assured me that, I shouldn't worry and calm down. So for the school to just close down, within this short period, definitely it will have an effect on them. So they are missing a lot. And, as parent, what can I do?
We'll get to hear from one of them and speak to the University Students Association on the matter. Also in sports,
Asamoah Gyan is karaoke into a gospel song live on Instagram. Details coming up later. But away from that, Kumasi Asante Kotoko have been told it's a mistake to have decided to play in the 2018-2019 CAF Confederation Cup.
If I'm George Amoako as the CEO of the club, I will not go to Africa. It's simple as that, because I don't think that they have a team that is competitive enough.
More to come from Executive Chairman of Dreams FC, Keto Kreku, and also Asamoah Gyan on his divorce. Details coming up.
And later in the bulletin, Ghana Union of Traders Association hits back at Nigerian traders who accuse them of xenophobia.
No foreigner is supposed to do business in Ghana except if you have $1 million as investment capital. And we're crying for the whole world to hear.
All that and more here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apau. Let's settle for the details now. An initial diagnosis by doctors has revealed that Joy News reporter Kwesi Parker Wilson has an infected eye. This is due to the hefty slap handed him by a member of former President Mahama's security detail yesterday. He was hit in the face whilst he tried to get access to the Pentecost University at Sotum, where the former president was meeting with authorities of the school as part of a 5-day campaign tour of the Greater Accra region. My colleague, MFA Nancy Jadosi, has been speaking to Kwesi Parker Wilson on what doctors have been telling him about his condition.
So he took me to the former president, and Mr. Mahama apologized. He said he's sorry. I should forgive the NDC, forgive him and the NDC party, and asked me to identify the young man who assaulted me. If I'm able to do that, he will deal with the young man. But unfortunately, at that moment, all the security guards present at the auditorium, he wasn't there. So I told him, the man is not here at the moment, but if I'm able to identify him, I'll definitely let him know. And he said, yes, he wants that so that he can deal with the young man. So that is what happened. When I went to the hospital, the doctor said I have an infection with the eye. So I should return on Wednesday for a critical examination of the eye, but he gave me some drugs so that it could relieve the pain or ease the pain that I'm feeling, because as I said, as I speak to you right now, I still feel pains around.
See the red?
Yeah, it's still red, yeah. So hopefully tomorrow I'll go to the hospital for the doctors to examine the eye, and then they can confirm if there is any injury or anything. I don't know.
And I'm sure the police have also been notified about this case and be going there soon.
Yes, the managing editor, Mr. Kwashi, has already notified the police, and from here we're going to the police station to officially file a complaint, and I'm sure we'll take it up from there and investigate the matter.
You heard there my colleague Kwesi Parker-Wilson. Now, Deputy Information Minister Pius Hajide has condemned the incident, urging Mr. Mahama's team to cooperate with relevant security agencies.
I think it is very regrettable, very unfortunate that the former president's security details would assault and abuse a Ghanaian journalist to the extent that we all saw. I condemn it unreservedly. And you recall that just a couple of days ago at the Ghana Journalist Awards, the Minister Designate for Information, Honorable Kojo Nkrumah, bemoaned the rampant abuse and assault on journalists. And in the view of condemnation of such grievous offenses the world over, it is, however, worthy of note that the spokesperson for the John Mahama team apologizes to the victim, Mr. Parker-Wilson. But I think that an outright and unconditional condemnation will be in order. And this talk about the matter being investigated, I do not think that the same security apparatus that brutally assaulted the journalist are in a position to investigate this matter. And I think that we should allow the proper institutions of state with the capacity and mandate to conduct investigations and possible prosecutions.
That's the Deputy Information Minister, Pius Hajide. That's not all. Executive Director of the Media Foundation for West Africa, Suleiman Ibrahima, is meanwhile urging the former president to publicly speak on the matter.
It dies off in an unnatural way. I think we've gotten to a point where we need to really change course and send that signal that, look, journalists are doing, work that is doesn't put anybody at risk. We're just doing our work. We're just reporting for the people, and working in the public interest. And for me, security people like, what we are told happened yesterday, who think the best way to act is to attack a journalist. I don't think they are fit for their position. And I just hope that it wouldn't just end with a statement from the former president's campaign team. I think it would be great for us to hear the former president himself. And I was hoping that by now, given the record of what happened when he was president, and I would say presided over a very serious case of impunity when the Sandobe incident happened, I would have hoped that when this matter happened, he himself yesterday would have just personally even made a comment or condemned the incident so that
We can now hear from spokesperson of the John Mahama 2020 campaign team, James Ejenim Boateng. He's been assuring the team would deal with the individual who hits the journalist once investigations are concluded.
He was in our company. Whether he had come there on his own or by invitation, he was working as a press person, and it was important that we provided him with protection, which we had done all the way. So I offered him the apology, and right there and then I heard an announcement on the radio that the vehicles needed to proceed to the next destination. So he was in that protection of the security people up to the next point. Just when we got to the next point, again, I went immediately to him to apologize to him again and to try to understand the situation. Just about that time, the info was passed to Mr. Mahama, who called Mr. Parker-Wilson and personally apologized to him. At about that time, quite a number of security people were around the former president, so he asked these people to point out who did that. He said he could not. And that's why the matter will have to be looked into. What we did, though, was to also offer him medical assistance to take him to a hospital, which he declined because at the time, his bosses were calling him. I spoke to people in and out of your station, and I gave them these same facts and also apologized to them. So this morning is basically to offer that same apology and to give you the highest assurance that, there's no way that any such thing will repeat itself.
You heard the spokesperson of the John Mahama 2020 campaign team, James Ejenim Boateng. But in the last few minutes, the Ghana Journalists Association has issued a statement on the matter. My colleague Komla Adum has a copy of that statement and joins me in studio with it. What does it say, Komla?
MFA, the GJA condemns the assault and finds the incident most unfortunate. And the ex-president is a man of high respect and great honor. Also, apart from being a member of the Ghana Journalists Association, he's always had cordial relations with the media. It is therefore expected that officers who work for him and on his behalf would emulate his character in their dealings with the media. It goes ahead to say the GJA appreciates the purported apology rendered by the said security officer to Kwesi Parker-Wilson and a promise by the office of the ex-president to investigate the matter. It says, we, however, hope the investigation will be swift and not shield the perpetrator of the assault from punishment. And we further call on the Ghana Police Service to investigate the matter and take appropriate steps to bring the perpetrator to book. It ends by saying on the way forward, the GJA plans to engage with all stakeholders, including political parties and media owners, on how best we can work in harmony to minimize cases of assault against journalists. It's signed by President of the Association, Afro Money.
So that's the latest. That's the GJA statement on the assault on our colleague Kwesi Parker-Wilson. We'll definitely be following a development on that and bring you details as and when we get them. But journalists protesting delays in passage of the RTI bill at Parliament House have been prevented from entering the House. Security personnel stopped the journalists who had stormed the House to demand the immediate passage of the bill. We will get the latest on that shortly, but earlier, Joy News spoke to MP for Kumbungu, Ras Mubarak, who believes other issues on the day's agenda should be resolved before the RTI is considered.
Consideration be made, so it be brought forward as the second item, considering, judging by the hue and cry and public interest in having the right to information bill passed. Now, Mr. Speaker, having said that, I was also expecting to see a report of the Communications Committee on the consideration of the Budapest Convention, which has not been looked at for a long time.
You had the MP for Kumbungu, Ras Mubarak, there on the floor a while ago commenting on the RTI and whether it should be considered or not. But parliamentary correspondent Joseph Opoku-Gakpo joins us live from Parliament. So what exactly happened with these journalists when they attempted to enter Parliament to demand the passage of the RTI bill?
So the security in Parliament insisted that they can't come in wearing branded T-shirts. They were in white T-shirts with various inscription on it, making the demands when it comes to the passage of the RTI bill. And so when they were stopped, they were eventually escorted to the police station here in Parliament. And then from there, they were asked to go put their concerns on paper and communicate formally to the House in terms of how the way forward should be. Let me get a quick word from a member of the RTI coalition, Kweku Sechidanso. What exactly happened in the morning, and how are you, the members of the coalition, reacting to this?
Exactly this morning around 9 a.m. Collaboration with the leadership of the parliamentary executives of the parliamentary press corps. We're told the T-shirt will not be allowed in. So some members of the parliamentary press corps who are members of the coalition have to take the T-shirts off. And then when we tried the front.
Hello, Joseph.
That to report. I have a few of my colleagues in there reporting because they do not have the T-shirts on, and then there was an attempt made to get to the through the entrance where usually the MPs used, and then were prevented. So some of my colleagues who were in the T-shirt had to be really taken to the parliamentary police station. So that's the situation, but we're trying to get together and then see, because a number of strategies will be really adopting to really ensure that the RTI bill is really passed. We want to put pressure on members of parliament.
So that's a member of the RTI coalition, Kweku Danso there. But the sitting itself is ongoing on the floor. As you heard the sound a while ago, Ras Mubarak Kumbungu MP asked that the House expedite action on the RTI bill. Also, the Speaker has announced that on 15th November, the Finance Minister will be in the House to deliver the 2019 budget statement. And so the House is currently discussing issues having to do with abortion And a statement has been read on that, and there are various recommendations on how to ensure safe abortion and prevent situations of unsafe abortion.
So we're reconvening today, already in session, but do we know what issues are high on the agenda for this session?
And so the indication is that the budget statement, which is coming in 2 weeks, is actually the main issue in focus, which the House will be considering. Again, we gather that some work will be done on the Right to Information Bill, which is currently in the consideration stage, which would see some amendments to the original bill that's actually been brought to the House. That's also very much high on the agenda going into the session between now and December when they would adjourn.
Parliamentary correspondent Joseph Opoku Gakpo. Away from that, there's growing tension at the Nkwanta Senior High School in the Volta region after some students chased out teachers of the school for seizing and destroying their phones during a routine check in their dormitories. Headmistress or headmaster of the school, Paul Buffoon, narrates how it all happened.
When he went, he saw 2 phones being charged in the house, 2 illegal connections from the fan or the light. So he picked the phones. Then they went further to house 2 and 3. Since they were going to conduct the roll call in house 2, they ushered all the house 3 students into the room. And after that, they conducted the roll call peacefully in house 2. Then just after the roll call, then house 3 people came out shouting Chobu, and they started hurling stones at them. When they went there, they saw 2 students also having phones and they took them from them. And that was or when they started chasing them out with stones, and they ran out and they came and mobilized their people, and they caused a lot of distraction to the school. All the school vehicles have been smashed, the glasses have been smashed, the administration block, all the river blades, the signboard, the new signboard which have been donated by the 94-year group recently has also been smashed, and a lot of things have been destroyed in the school. Meanwhile, we are going down to the information, so we don't know. We called on the police yesterday. They couldn't enter until they had reinforcement from the army from Pasa, the battalion at Pasa. They came before there was calm, and almost all the students ran out of town. They ran through the bush into the town and slept in the town. So that is where we are reached now. So I've just called an emergency meeting, and we are going to look at the things, the way it happened. So that is what I can tell you for now.
You heard there Paul Buffoon. He's the headmaster of the Nkwanta Senior High School. Joy News is learning that the police have managed to restore calm in the school after last night's distraction. Let's go on the line and speak with our Dome FM's reporter, Benjamin Obrimpong. Thank you very much, Benjamin. So what action will be taking? We know that calm has been restored, but do we know what action specifically will be taking after this incident?
My sister, thank you. As I earlier indicated that the cause of the riot is between the teachers and the students of House 3 at yesterday around 10:45 p.m. when the whole thing started. And with the level of information that we've picked at the ground indicates that it was one of the teachers who went around doing a dormitory roll call to check or to find out, to do some roll call. So when he got to one of the dormitories, he saw that the student made some illegal connection and they were charging mobile phones.
Okay.
And as we all know,
we've told that story, Benjamin. So I would want to find out, you stated that police, some calm have been restored in the school and all, but there were destruction to property amongst others. Do we know what action specifically we'll be taking?
Well, the pickup for the headmaster, Mr. P.V. Nyako, has its windscreen smashed, and we recorded over 60 motorbikes that were completely destroyed by these students. And we have another pre-school vehicle that they use for the activities of the school, have its windscreen smashed down, and classroom, over 8 classrooms that have its Formica boards have been completely destroyed. And
So briefly, Benjamin, what is the situation now at Nkwanta SHS? Can you say?
Right now, as I speak, as I indicated, calm has been restored. I just saw the police patrol going around the school, and the children are about going on their normal activities.
Okay, so that's a Benjamin Obrimpong, Adum FM's reporter there, reporting from the Inquanta Senior High School. Let's stay on education front, because some parents whose children are students at the KNUST say they are hopeful students and school authorities will agree to smoke the peace pipe for academic work to return soon. A father whose 2 children are at different levels at the school has been telling Joy News he panicked when he saw the violent demonstrations on campus. Government Monday announced Chancellor Otumfuo Seitu II has been tasked to reconstitute the governing council by 2nd November following agitations by UTAG, TEU and other worker groups. UTAG President Dr. Eric Opoku-Mensah says the lecturers are satisfied with the new intervention.
With this understanding, certainly I think that we just did not want to embark on a strike for the sake of just going on strike. I think that these were the issues that we're discussing, and I think the government has shown maturity and respect, in reference to what should be the case, and we are all happy about it. So, KNUST is going to call off the withdrawal of teaching service, and all the plans that were being made to solidarize with them are going to end.
You heard the UTAG President Dr. Eric Opoku-Mensah. Now listen to a parent who says his 2 sons at KNUST are currently home unsure about whether the students and lecturers can ever see eye to eye when they resume.
My children are in Kumasi at the moment.
When they were asked to vacate the school premises, to pack their things and go home, did they call you to tell you this is the decision? And how are they taking all of this that's been happening?
The whole thing started when the issue of introducing mix, converting this. Yeah. So we all started, wondering why is it so? Until, it gathered momentum, and finally when this demonstration took place. We were following the news. I was in my office, and then a colleague came to tell me, did I hear what was going on? I said, what's going on? So KNUST is having a demonstration, and then, the school has been asked to, close for the time. I was like, oh. Then I decided to call my children. I have 2 sons, like you rightly said. I called the first one. It was going through, but he wasn't picking. So you can imagine, when, issue of certain nature erupts, and then you are calling your son and he's going through and he's not picking. I quickly have to call the second one. So lucky the second one picked. All what he told me was he's on campus, he's with one of the friends where the whole thing was, taking place. That is a Katanga. So they went to have a study, and then all of a sudden they heard that there was a curfew. So I began to panic because Katanga is the center of the whole issue. But he assured me that, I shouldn't worry and calm down.
For the last 3, 4, 5 days that they've been there, are they not missing academic work already?
Oh, definitely they are, because
you have a parent, and already the University Students Association have welcomed the latest turn-off event. Of course, we'll get to speak to them later in our subsequent bulletins. You're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. Still to come, Ghana Union of Traders Association hits back at Nigerian traders who accuse them of xenophobia.
Is supposed to do business in Ghana except if you have $1 million as investment capital. And we're crying for the whole world to hear.
My name is Kwame Sefakai, and most of you know me as a media personality. But I am also a family man. The UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, saves me so much time by letting me do almost all of my banking transactions on my phone. The cardless withdrawal feature allows me to withdraw cash from any UMB ATM without an ATM card. I can also pay bills, transfer money, request for a loan, invest money, and so much more. So now, I can spend less time at the bank and more time with the ones I love. Bank anywhere and anytime with a UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, and get the time to do what you love most. Download the UMB Speed App from your Android, iOS, or Windows phone today. Call 0302-633-988 for more information. UMB Speed App, Digibank, let's go!
Now, this very moment, it's the pulse of possibility, potential, power. It's time
to make your move.
To take that step.
The time is now.
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 The great things you do tomorrow start with the small steps you take right now. So take that step with Old Mutual. Call us on 0302-230-638 and make now count. Old Mutual. Do great things every day.
Thanks for staying with the best. It's time now for sports.
Yeah, there's more to come from Asamoah Gyan, whose story is trending, divorce in the court, and also asking for a DNA test for his kids to see if really he's the father of the 3 children he has with Lady Gifty Asamoah, as we know it to be. But hey, he has responded. You get to hear from him. But first, club football and Kumasi Asante Kotoko, they have decided to represent the country in next season's CAF Confederation Cup after the normalization committee agreed to their request. But executive chairman of Dreams FC, Ket Okreku, says taking that stage to play in Africa is a big mistake by Kotoko.
Well, I think that I'm saying if I'm Kotoko, I will not go to Africa, okay? But it's their prerogative. If I'm Siki Akono, I will not go to Africa. If I'm George Amoako as the CEO of the club, I will not go to Africa. It's simple as that, because I don't think that they have the team that is competitive enough that could make a big mark on the African continent. I think that they have to bring in new talents. They have to develop the team. They have to play competitive games. They need to look for extra resources and to be very, very competitive. I mean, I don't think that they need this pressure at this moment at all.
So one story that got all of us talking right from last night to this morning was Asamoah Gyan's issue that he's found, a case at the court seeking divorce from the wife. That's Gifty Asamoah, or that's, yes, we understand that's the name, and also asking for a DNA test.
Why?
Is this? I don't know. Don't put the why to me because I'm not part of the family. But what we know is that Asamoah Gyan just some few minutes ago has responded. It could be passively to the story, but listen to him as he tried to karaoke to I Know My Level by Shatta Wale.
Yes, I.
That was Asamoah Gyan there. Not troubled at all. So maybe we are worried, but he's not.
Read one with the latest from the world of sports. Now, the Ghana Union of Traders Association is angered at xenophobia allegations by Nigerian Union of Traders Association in Ghana against their hosts. Guta leaders cite the Nigerian traders of suggesting in a petition to President Buhari, Ghanaians are maltreating them and denying them access to legitimate business. They allege the situation had led to loss of lives in some instances. Allegations the Ghanaian traders describe as blatant lies and twisted facts. Prince Apia has more. We'll definitely bring you that later in our subsequent bulletins. We apologize for that. But the Ghana Health Service is assuring that an estimated 100,000 children left out in the just-ended vaccination against childhood killer diseases, measles and rubella, will be immunized in December when it's safe for staff to travel to hard-to-reach villages. We can hear from Dr. George Bonsu, who is head of the immunization program at the Ghana Health Service. We'll get to hear from him shortly also. But let's head to Kumasi because police have rescued a 15-year-old junior high school girl from being married off at the expense of her education. Her father, Abdullahi Abbas, who allegedly connived with his 30-year-old Niger-based in-law to perpetrate the crime, is in custody at Kenyasi Ibrim in Ashanti region. Love FMC Rasta Sasari Donko has details.
Following a tip-off, I met and had a chat with a 15-year-old JHS student at Abrim. Her anxiety stemmed from one issue. Her father and uncles were forcibly giving her out to a 30-year-old distant cousin she has never met. She wanted me to help stop the marriage, which was due 3 days from my meeting with her.
The marriage should not come. So because I want to become something in the future, I want my education.
Who is giving you up to marry?
My mom and dad. They tell me that I'm going to marry. I want to go forward for my education further. I'm also a child.
How old are you?
15.
And the man you're going to get married to, do you know him?
No. They say he's in Niger.
I subsequently drew the attention of the Police Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit, which detailed a team of personnel to mount a rescue operation. She was taken out of a room where they were preparing her for the marriage rituals.
Erastus Osari Donko's report. They will bring you the full report in our subsequent bulletins. Just before we go, what's trending on social media, Maps?
Asamoah Gyan is trending after reportedly filing for divorce and demanding a DNA test to determine if he's the father of the kids. At Kwesi_Ofori says Asamoah Gyan divorcing his wife to marry another woman because she cheated is like moving from Accra to Kumasi because it rains too much in Accra. The fact is, it rains everywhere. Man is using this cheating just to be with another woman. The woman hasn't done anything. And at its_Kwaka says, let's hear from the horse's mouth first. Leave Asamoah Gyan's wife alone.
Okay, so that's it for the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. You want more news? Log on to myjoyonline.com. I am MFA Apau. Thanks for your company.